Hey guys, I just got off the phone with Verb, probably best known for being a member of the new Two Live crew, kind of the lyrical guy who was brought in the 90s when Brother Marquise and Mr. Mix left the scene. But also, I mean, he's done hit records with Trick Daddy, JT Money. He's had not one but two lost albums, which we talk about in my interview. One thing that totally blew my mind. It turns out he's the guy who did Hop Along and also another couple records with Disco Rick in 1991 when Disco Rick signed to Luke Records. That's actually where he came from, sort of before the new Two Live crew. I remember always wanting to know who was on that record, but you read the liner notes and they don't tell you anything. There's like no hints. And I'm reading the whole thing and it sort of sounds like he's saying his name is Larry, which is of course his real name, but I never ever put that together. Just never thought, oh, that's Verb. But now that I know it, that just totally blew my mind. So I learned that. I learned so much more. He tells us, his issues with Luke, the real story about some of the videos I've posted before, like the behind the scene facts of his issues with Trick Daddy, and making Scarred, and how he really brought that record together himself with Luke. You're actually going to hear all this stuff. I'm not going to explain it all because I'm going to play some audio clips of it right now so you can hear from the man himself some of the true story. So check this out right now and then check back later and I'll post a link for the full text blog of the full interview. Some fascinating stories. Really excited to finally get to the bottom of some of this stuff. So this is Verb, formerly of the new Two Live crew. Check it out. Peace and thanks.
You gotta remember, I'm a young kid, I'm getting a shot. I didn't particularly want to be in the Two Live crew because I felt like, at that time, couldn't do hip hop was still pure. This era right here, you gotta remember. So I'm signed, this is what I'm listening to, but I'm in Miami, this is what's selling. What happened to the record label is, soon as I got there, Two Live Crew opened the door for groups like H-Town, because the record company, that was his last shot. Actually, Joe Weinberger invested monies in with Luther Campbell to take a shot with this Two Live Crew project. The project was so successful, Luke was able to come off the road, go back in the studio and record his solo album. I mean, he came out with us to see how we was selling these shows out. He got off the road and went back into the studio and did a solo album. And actually, It's Your Birthday was supposed to be on Two Live Crew record. It was supposed to be on Back in Jazz for 9-4. And when he came back, I remember specifically, he had that song, and that song was supposed to be for our album. But Luke kept procrastinating to do the record. And Chris told me, he said, you know what he's going to do? He's going to hold his idea and do it for his. And sure enough, he did that. I wrote Scar like in 5 minutes and figuring like, you know what? I'm going to do this quick record, get this check, and it's pretty much the last thing I'm going to do with the label. If you look, me and Trick, we never performed that record. We never ever performed that record together. After we did the video, we never performed that record together. I mean, you have a hit record. You got to realize, like, Luke is the type of guy, if you're not all the way in, he going to kill a record because he don't want you to get shine off a situation. You understand?
Well, I mentioned, you probably saw the video I did, right? Because, on the Scarred single, there's no mention of you or Trick Daddy, really. It's just his picture. It's just by Luke. You know what I mean? If you look at that, just the packaging, you'd almost think Luke did all the rapping. Obviously, no, he never raps.
No, it wasn't like that. That's the thing, and that's the reason why you never see. You got to realize, not too long ago, Trick Daddy, Luther Campbell, and Pitbull took my place when they did that record without me.
Oh, okay.
And Pitbull took my place. What happened was, once the record started burning up, I actually called Luke and I told Luke, listen, I'm responsible for, this is what happened. I actually bought Scar to Luke.
Oh, okay.
I had the concept, and what happened was, the Two Live Crew had already sent it. And I came to Luke and I told him, look, man, I got this idea. It's this break. Luther Campbell did not want to give me a percent. He wanted to give me the percentage that he gave Maurice Young, known as Trick Daddy.
Right.
At the time. No disrespect to Maurice. He was just young and coming in the game. But I didn't agree with that. So I never signed off on the record. And me and Luke was cool. We was always boys. In fact, he trusted me a lot more than he trusted a lot of other people. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's the music business. And I feel like, you know, as far as the record, I could have took the record and did it myself. But I brought the record to him, and I wanted him to compensate me right for the record. I was not interested in playing a Lost Tribe role over at Slip and Slide, where I go to a team and I sign for peanuts on the dollar. So what I did, I went to the Giants. I got paid a shitload of money, and the team was a bad team. So, you know, it's like you sign with a team, you don't get no money, but the team go all the way to the playoffs, you know?
Yeah.
I don't regret it because half of those guys didn't even make the money I made, and I didn't even have no releases. The only guy that really made any real money over there was Trick and Trina.
Yeah.
So I don't regret my move. My company wasn't as active as Slip and Slide. So when they signed Ross, who I had on my album, and we was discussing the politics, I was surprised he signed with Slip and Slide. I said, Ted Lucas is never going to put Rick Ross out. Why do you ask that? Because Ross sounds very near to the work that I do. Well, let's look at this. He never put Ross out.
Yeah.
What happened? If you listen, he had a mixtape come out where he went against the company for not moving on him. So Ross had to make himself hot. Here's a guy that sat on Slip and Slide a couple years and had to go underground and mixtape like he was a new artist.
Yeah.
Got to deal with Def Jam, but you already signed to an indie.
Yeah.
And the indie already signed to a major who had the power. You, wait a minute, you had Rick Ross, but you didn't have the ears, and he was too risky. That's what happened with Verb. Miami wasn't ready for Verb. You know, I had done a song. I got a song with Ross right now. You know, it's like Star Wars. You too early, you Buck Rogers. You right on time, you Star Wars.
Yeah.
You see?